You're watching the Motorola One Power Disassembly. First thing you gotta do, pop out the SIM tray, look it on the side of the phone. Alright, next thing you want to do, you can heat the back up a little bit with a hair dryer or blow dryer, or even a heat gun if you have. You don't need to heat it up too much, but just heat it up a little bit so you can make it easier for yourself when you're trying to pry the frame from the screen. And then you can use a pry tool, preferably something plastic so you don't damage the frame or the phone. I'm going to use a guitar pick, which I always use. Now what you're going to do, you're going to work your way around from the plastic of the screen, the frame that goes around the screen, and the rubber plastic part of the phone, of the frame. And if you need to, you can use like a razor or something thin to get in between, so it can give you some leverage, and you could put a pry tool in between. Once you get it in, just work your way around gently and try to separate the screen from the back housing. I don't know if you guys can see it separating right there. Now remember, on the bottom of the phone where the Motorola logo is, the screen cables run underneath here, so don't go in too deep so you damage the cables. Just try to stick to the edges of the plastic and the frame of the phone. And also when you're prying it up, be careful you don't damage it. As you can see, the cable connects here, but it runs down the phone over there and connects to the screen underneath it. Still some adhesive over here. See the cables over here. Now there's a sticker over here that says S, I'm assuming for stop. We're going to remove that sticker over the screw so we can take the screw off on the cover for the connector. Okay, next, remove the T4 screw. And then pull off a metal cover that's over the connector. Now you're going to pop off the connector from the board. So here's your screen. This is the part I was talking about on the bottom, not to go too deep to damage the cable underneath it. Alright, so you have 20 T6 screws you're going to need to remove throughout the phone. Some of them are going to be in black color, some are going to be the regular silver screws. Also, the screw down here has another sticker with the S over it. You're going to have to remove that sticker so you can take the screw off. Go ahead and remove the screws. Alright, now once you have all the screws removed, you're going to lift the metal plate from the frame. So here's the metal plate. You have a water damage sticker indicator over here. So in case it gets in contact with any liquid, it'll turn pink or red. You have your ear speaker over here on the top. Here's what you're left with inside. Here's the phone. You got your battery right here. You got your vibrator motor over here. The speaker down here. You have your SIM tray and memory card reader here. You have your front facing camera right there. Alright, next we're going to disconnect this cable over here, which I'm assuming is for the battery. I'm not too sure yet since it's covered. But let's disconnect that. Once that's disconnected, go ahead and disconnect this cable down here. Once you got that disconnected, we're going to lift up this protective tape. It's black tape right here. Let's peel it off. Now at this point, be careful because the tape is adhering to the cable underneath it, so you don't want to tear it. Separate them. And now we're gonna lift up this long cable over here. We're gonna continue peeling off this tape. So at this point you can see the model of the battery, which is a JK50 battery. It's got a 4850 milliamp battery or a 4850 milliamp. And also this cable is for the battery that we disconnected early on. Next we're going to disconnect the cameras. Once you got them disconnected, just lift them up. Put it aside. Now you got two more screws you need to remove for the motherboard. Go ahead and remove those. Okay, next we're going to disconnect the white cable and the black cable over here on the bottom that go towards the charger port assembly. Once you got those removed, take them out of their slots. Alright, now you're going to lift up these cables and lift the main board up. Just be careful, there's also one cable underneath the main board that's attached to the fingerprint reader. That's on the back of the phone. So don't pull the board away completely yet. As you guys can see, that cable is attached right over here in the corner. Go ahead and pop it off. Now you can free the main board. Here's the back side of the board. So one thing to point out on the back side of the board, there are these gold contacts over here, which touch the contacts on the flex cable over here, which is for the power button and the volume keys, which give it power and signal. So if you ever have any issues with those are the things I'll take a look at first. Alright, now you're left pretty much with the battery, the charger port assembly here, the speaker, and the vibrator motor, along with the fingerprint scanner over here, or the reader. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and remove the charger port board. What you have to do is unscrew the two screws over here. Put it this way so you guys can see. Alright, now you're just gonna lift up on the small board. So here's your charger port board. So basically if you ever have any issues with charger port or breaks, you can just replace this board. And your speaker assembly is over here. The flex cable comes over here. So it makes contact with that small board. And then that long cable, which I'm going to show you right now. This cable is what connects to the motherboard and gives the signal. And also the vibrator motor is over here. The flex cable is here. That also makes contact with the small board over here. And to remove the speaker over here, just have to lift it up. It's on a plastic piece. If you don't break the plastic piece, just gotta wedge it out of this corner right here. And your vibrator motor, you just basically pry it off the metal frame right there. And if you need to replace the battery, same thing, just pry off the battery off this metal frame and just replace it. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and reassemble the phone. Go ahead and put the speaker assembly back in. Once that's in place, go ahead and put a charger port. Once that's in, screw in your charger port. Alright, next we're going to connect the cable for the fingerprint reader back to the main board. Alright, once you got that connected, slide the main board back in like a lip to the top. Alright, once you got that in, go ahead and screw the motherboard back in. Next, go ahead and attach these cables, the white and the black one, back to the charger port. Once you run those cables through the area, connect them on a small charger port board. Alright, next, put your cameras back in. Connect them to the board. Now go ahead and put the protective tape back over. Alright, once you got the tape back over, reconnect this cable to the charger port board down here. Next, go ahead and connect your battery cable back to the main board. Make sure that's connected. Alright, next, put your frame back over. Make sure you put it in like a lip on the top so it slides in. Alright, now go ahead and screw all the screws back in. Alright, now once you have all the screws in place, go ahead and connect the cable for the screen back to the main board. Once that's connected, put the cover back. Cover is going to go like this, like a lip. Once that's in place, put the screw and screw it in. And then if you need to, apply new adhesive. Put the screen back on. Power on the phone, and you're done.